Good morning, Chatty House.
I'm still alive. Ooh.
Good morning, Chatty House.
Hi, everybody. Rust Dog got the belt today. Congratulations, Rust Dog. Fired up for the all-staff meeting today? They're bringing lunch.
No, dude.
Yeah.
What? You're not psyched to hang out with all our coworkers? Go through a meeting? I'm going to talk about us.
Yeah.
Words of affirmation today, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I threw my little heart on the board yesterday.
There you go.
Last night when I was leaving.
Nice.
It was cool. Yeah, the cleaning person was here.
Did you write it for them?
No, but
shout out to
she's super nice.
Yeah, I said goodbye. What's up, Manny? Keeps it G. What's up, Ms. Mac10? Warren, good morning, everyone. What's up, Filthy?
It's nice that Manny says good morning to you. That's tight.
Me and Manny are friends, that's why.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you're the one.
You should try that sometime.
Nice, man. No, it's really cool you do that for him. I know he needs it.
Do what I can. Yeah, no. Shout out to Man in the Chat House after party.
Oh, hell yeah. Hey, what up, Filthy? Okay. What's up, Steven? Octopus ears. What? Oh, don't do that. Hey, it's the best day of the week. It's Thursday, February 12th. That's Jesse Tapia. I'm Kyle Madsen. Joe Brazil is over yonder. We're the Jump. We're hanging out with you until 9 a.m. right here on ESPN 1320. That is Sacramento's sports leader. What's going on, dude?
Nothing much. I don't know. We've had this conversation before. Thursday, I'm not so sure is the best day of the week, man. I think we're going to stop with that nonsense.
Okay, how come?
It's Friday.
Let's talk about it.
It's Friday. It's Friday.
I
woke up this morning like, damn, tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah, I don't hate the take. Like, I'm not going to vehemently argue about that, but that's why Thursday is great. Because Thursday precedes Friday. Thursday is the end of the week. Thursday is the real end of the week.
Oh,
I feel that.
Stop. No, you don't, Joe.
Yeah,
Because
Joe.
you know,
I do.
no, because we still clock in tomorrow. We still get paid tomorrow. That's not the end of the week.
Yeah, I know, but we get paid to like nobody's really here.
Dude,
Nobody cares about anything on Fridays. I went into Aaron Miller's office last week right after the show. Aaron Miller's our boss. I went into his office right after the show. It's 9:00.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been here for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And I go, hey, just a quick update on this. You know, manager things.
Yeah, big boss man.
Yeah, you know. Talked for 45 seconds. And he goes, all right, see you later. And I was well, I'm not leaving yet. I got a couple things to do here.
Well, you could have.
But I could have bounced. Like, that doesn't happen any other day of the week. Thursday is the real Friday. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know what this nonsense is, but you know what? It's the Jump. Shout out. I'll play along. Shout out Thursday. It's the Friday of the week.
I ordered donuts today. I forgot to get donuts on the way in.
That's been a big talking point, I think.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I talked to Aaron about. I walked into his office and talking about something totally like a real thing, we got a bunch of stuff happening here at the station, and went in to talk to him about that. And he goes, hey, because James Ham, of course, our Kings Insider, is now just our Kings Insider. He's not here on a daily basis. And he goes, hey, who's doing Donut Fridays? Me, man. I got it. I'm on it. It's okay.
Yeah, shout out. One of the salespeople, I love them, but shout out. One of them came up to me and said, yeah, so James was doing Donut Friday, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, this is kind of how it happens. Like, yeah, we'll see what happens.
It's on you now, dude.
The hell it is.
So I forgot. So after telling Aaron, like, yeah, dude, I got donut. What are you talking about? Like, yeah, it's me. I forgot. First Thursday that it's a Donut Friday on Thursday, because we don't have salespeople here on Friday. So we bring the donuts in on Thursdays. That's the whole bit. I forgot. So I've DoorDashed donuts. I'm paying $15 extra to get them delivered.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because if I waited till after the show, we're going to talk about the Kings eventually. But if you watched the game last night, you know why we're talking about donuts instead.
That game was scary.
Brutal, dude. Not even interesting a little bit.
No.
You're down 20 in the first quarter.
Yeah, like you said, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. But I didn't want to wait because we have an all-staff meeting today. Well, we have a meeting actually about some of the stuff we've got going on at the station. We have a meeting very shortly after the show. Not enough time to go get donuts. If I wait till after that meeting, I'm bringing donuts in right before the all-staff meeting starts, and they're catering that with lunch. So now I've got donuts sitting there that nobody wants to eat because lunch is coming, and now I've got a bunch of donuts sitting there, and there's nothing worse than your entire full box of donuts sitting there at the end of the day. So I'm DoorDashing the donuts. They'll be here shortly. I might have to leave in the middle of the show.
I could
have a
probably
producer.
Yeah, I could probably do that for you.
Well, I didn't, but see, I don't want to ask Joe to do that.
Well,
Joe is
volunteering.
very generous with his time.
You know how many times I've had to bring in Damien's juices or whatever?
Yeah,
Dude,
but see,
I
that's
bring in
not.
the
I
juice
don't.
and whatever.
I don't think that's an excuse for me to ask Joe to do something. I was like, well, I had to do it. Like, no, man, we're growing. We're growing as a team. We're growing as a station.
I guess.
Okay.
Middle Kings talk. Hey guys, the donuts are here. I'll be back.
Yeah. Why not? Hey, it's 100% gonna be like, and you cannot lose a game. Hey, Joe. Joe, can you just run? Thank you.
The sprinkles are here.
Anyway, that's Jesse. I'm Kyle. Joe is over there in his San Francisco Giants hat.
Yes, sir.
I got the Red Sox jersey.
You got the Red Sox jersey on. I'm wearing my Shohei hat.
Yeah, I know.
Big time.
Dude, like,
I love this for us.
I swear you started wearing it way more after I made a comment about it.
No, you just made a comment about it the first time I wore it.
Oh, well, yeah.
I never wore it. I got it on the internet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then I wore it and you went, your hat sucks and I hate you.
Yeah, I don't think I said the second part.
That's what you said. You said, I don't want to work on your show anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, you said, I hate you. I don't want to work on your show. I'll do it for Jesse.
Yeah, he said, all right, well, you're going to have to take Mondays off,
Dodger
buddy.
protest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got, if you want to say it's baseball season now, you can.
Dude, I cannot wait.
Alex Cora spoke today.
Excited.
Yeah,
we're locked in.
All right. March 5th, we got World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, no, we're all just distracting ourselves from the Kings.
Yeah, that's 100% what's happening. I don't know, man.
Kyle's speechless.
I thought we'd get some form of like effort last night.
I felt like an idiot at the end of the game yesterday. An idiot's maybe harsh, but I felt like it was kind of ironic. Like I feel like the last couple of days, been like, no, Kyle, this is what it is. It's fine.
Dude,
like, we're gonna develop the young guys, and you're gonna tank for the top pick, and then you find yourself just annoyed at the end of the game, and it's like, wow, you knew what this was. But I think also you watch the young guys out there, and it's like, okay, what are we developing here?
That's it. That's why, again, I'm not mad. I know what it is. You know what it is. Joe knows what it is. Everybody listening to Sports Talk Radio at 7:06 a.m. on February 12th knows what it is. This is a team that is like they're. I realized last night because I've been grappling with why the Pelicans game bothered me so much. And I think it hit me last night. It's because they're not tanking. They're not. They're just bad. And you just asked the pertinent question. If this year is about development, then well, let's see some.
Yeah.
You've got DeMar DeRozan in game 55 slamming a water bottle because they're not playing the right way. They're not playing the right way. That should be the easiest thing. If you're not good enough, if you don't have the talent level, that's fine. That's fine. That's it. That is when we say we know what it is. That's it. Even the tanking Jazz, they're starting Jaren Jackson Jr. and Lauri Markkanen. They are both better than anybody playing for the Kings right now by like wide margins.
Yeah.
If we're drafting players from last night's game, you probably get to 5 before you start picking a King. And that's so I don't, again, the expectation is not, oh, you should have won. But I also think the expectation is that the young players should be getting better as like a unit. Like the team should be getting better as a unit. Not as like individually. Maxime Reynaud, cool development. Dylan Cardwell, cool. He's getting better by playing. You love to see it. But as a team, I don't know what they're getting better at or where they're improving. In fact, it looks to be getting worse.
Well, yeah, but how many? Because when we say develop the young players, like, yes, that's awesome. Yes, let's develop. But when you think about that, it's like, oh yeah, let's develop the core of young players. You don't have a core of young players here, and like Max, I think is an NBA player. Precious, I don't consider part of this group. To me, Precious, I'm cool with being the backup big on this team going forward. Like Precious is cool, he's fine. He's not part of this group to me. But like Max, Devin Carter, Neek, Dylan, you got Daquan Plowden out there, Isaiah Stevens. Like some of those guys aren't probably going to be regular NBA guys going forward. I think we feel pretty good about Neek and Dylan Cardwell right now. Maxime's playing pretty well, but like you don't even know what their ceiling is. And right now it kind of feels like if you were to put one on it, like these are going to be like really decent bench players off the role players off the bench. But like, what exactly are you developing here? There's no core. I'm not sure if these guys are even like part of it going forward. Like you're still trying to figure out who's a guy and who's not as far as NBA players, not like just guys trying to lead you right now.
So I think that's an important distinction because when you talk about player development, that doesn't happen in season. If they want Dylan Cardwell, for example, I don't, this is not like a real thing. I'm just, follow me. Let's say they want Dylan Cardwell to become a 3-point shooter. They're not going to mid-season go, hey, Dylan, start getting out behind the 3-point line and working on that 3-point shot.
Yeah.
No, that's a thing that in the offseason they'll sit down and they'll go, hey, here's what we want. We want you to start shooting some threes. So let's get you in the gym this offseason. Here's A, B, and C thing we'd like you to work on. And then he goes and does that. And he might work with a Kings coach, might work with a personal coach, whatever it is. That's where that level of development is going to happen. What I'm looking for is how do those players play with their current skill sets? And you're going to get better by playing. The game's going to slow down. Like you're just going to kind of naturally progress as an NBA player through playing in games.
Yeah.
But to me, when you talk about developing young players, it's getting them inside of your system and getting them to maximize whatever their abilities are within some form of system that you're running. And we've talked about it all year. That doesn't seem to exist. And if that doesn't exist, if you're just playing basketball, I'm not sure what we're doing here. I don't know what the thing is this year outside of like, oh, they got to play NBA basketball. They got to get their feet wet in the NBA. Well, great, but if there's some system to run, it doesn't seem as though they're running it. So if you're trying to do that next year, if you're saying, well, we're waiting until next year, well, they're going to be starting at floor one again.
Well, you are. You're trying to run a system with guys who may not be necessarily like truly NBA ready right now. Like you talked about the Jazz, and because you did the draft, like you go ahead and take the Jazz starting 5 first, and then maybe you get DeMar DeRozan or something like that. But as far as like trying to build out, it's like, yeah, like there's not really guys that you're really looking toward on this Kings team. Like Devin Carter is a starting guard yesterday for the Kings. Like, is anyone expecting that to be the case going forward?
Is he on the team in 3 years?
Exactly. Is he on the team next year? All right. It's just you have a bunch of young players, yes, but it's not necessarily like you're developing a core right now. We're not even sure who's going to be what on this team. Like the way I look at it, like none of these guys are going to be starters to me, unless you're just throwing out young players trying to tank still and trying to attain picks. Like, I don't know if any of these guys are going to really develop. Maybe Dylan Cardwell. We'll see about him. He's interesting. But just looking at it right now in the early assessment, it's like, yeah, you're developing, but like, what are you developing towards right now? What's the end of it with these guys? What does that look like? And I think next season, when you do have a top 5 pick, I mean, hopefully cross your fingers. Like that's it kind of is day one. We're kind of in the negative zone right now. It feels like
in the negative zone. Oh, does Neek Clifford's last 2 games concern you at all? He went 1 for 15 last night. He went 4 for 16 against New Orleans. And then he went 1 for 15 last night. You pointed out before the show, you did the quick math. That's 5 of 31.
Shout out to the math on the jump.
Does that worry you at all?
Is he playing out of what his role should be?
I don't think so.
Is Neek Clifford a guy, though, that you're going to expect taking 15 shots a game? Like, is he doing what you'd expect of him on your team kind of when things are going well? Like, is he in the right role right now?
I think you're expecting him to put the ball in the hoop when he does shoot it.
But is he a scorer? Is he a shooter like that?
He's 5 for 35.
It's not great. It's not great, but also like, yeah, he's getting 15, 16 shots up. Like maybe he's, like I said, it's kind of what the developing. Like you got guys out there just playing ball right now, right? You guys got out there playing ball, but are you necessarily like, are they in roles that are going to help their development, or are they just out there playing ball, like you said? I wonder if Nick Clifford's in the best position to help him right now, rather than yes, he's getting NBA minutes and that's his development.
I think
we need you to take the shots because there's no one else out there.
I think that would be something that I would be willing to accept if he was 12 of 35. And again, it's a super small sample size. I'm not even sure this is concerning me that much.
Yeah.
All right, I said 12 of 31. 5 of 31, not 35, excuse me. 5 of 31. It is a little bit of a red flag though. It's great that he's getting these shots up, but again, it's not something that I'm like, wow, Nick stink, because you go and you look across and he is pulling down 8 rebounds. He's dishing out 6 assists.
Yeah, he does other things well
within an offense that is just kind of scattered. And so I think that's promising.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like I'm not concerned about the shots because it's like I don't know if Nick Clifford's just gonna be that guy where it's like, yeah, get these shots up. It's like when it's all like when you have players in the right spots, it's like, yes, we'll be looking at the 8 rebounds, the 6 assists, what do you do elsewhere and things like that. Maybe he put up 10 points on that night, but I'm not too concerned about his shooting or anything like that.
31.7% from 3 this year, 39.3% from the field. Oof. Not a great start.
Jill Ash threw it out on Twitter yesterday. It's kind of just trial by fire right now with the Sacramento Kings.
I guess so. It's not going great.
It's not, but it's the right move still. It's what they need to do.
No doubt. I don't know, and that's what I none of my I don't even know what to call this. I think I'm slowly creeping toward acceptance here. Except I've accepted it. Like it's not a I don't know.
It's just cope. We all just cope with it. We all just cope with that. It's horrible. Like I was texting you yesterday. Like it's ironic that I'm annoyed at the game because it's like we know like these guys are rookies, second-year players. We're not even sure what they're going to be in the league, and it's like yes, it's going to be ugly, but we say those things just to cope with the fact that like at the end of the day, yes, it's a horrible loss. This is one of the worst. This is the worst team in the league right now.
I think the other part of it, and this is not Kings specific. This is just the nature of who I am as a sports fan.
Yeah.
I think it's the nature of who a lot of people are as sports fans, where you watch a game, the 49ers and the Seahawks. Okay. I don't know if you noticed or if you saw, but the Seahawks went ahead 17-0 in the first 12 minutes of the divisional playoff game.
What?
I know in my heart this game's over. They're not scoring. Even if the Seahawks don't score again, the Niners aren't scoring 18 points. This game's over. But aside from the fact that it's my job to watch it for my podcast and the writing I do, there's this little part of me that's like, yeah, but what if? There's this little part in the back of my brain that's like, all right, well, if you score here, you get a stop, you score again. It's 17-14 going to halftime.
It's the hope that kills you.
And it's just this little thing. And again, it's not like I would bet on it. It's not.
Yeah, no.
It's like, but it's just there. And I think I'm going into these games knowing, all right, they're probably not winning. They've lost 14 games in a row now. There's not been a game in there that you felt great about going in. You might have a game, the Pelicans, the Jazz, where you go, oh, like, okay, if they were going to snap their losing streak, this is a chance.
Yeah.
I think I'm going in and I'm just waiting for the game where they put it all together once. Because that's going to happen eventually. Like, that's just the nature of the NBA. There will be a game where they go 15 of 27 from 3, and the other team goes 5 of 30 from 3, and the Kings get an unlikely win. Like, that's just the nature of the sport. It's how it goes. And at some point, that's going to happen. And I keep waiting for it because 14 losses in a row is so many. That's a lot of losses in a row.
You're getting blown out by the tanking teams right now.
And you're getting smoked by the bad teams.
Not even close.
And so I think where my because again, I understand logically, like this is losing at this point because we're in the long term now. we're not worried about short term. We're in the long term. We've been in the long term. We've been there for a while. I get it. I get that playing young players is better than the alternative. I'm there, but I keep waiting for the one game that we get to come in here and we get to talk about it online and we get to talk about it on the radio and on YouTube and we get to go, man, how good was Nate Clifford last night? Man, hey, Daquan Plowden, that was an interesting 15 minutes. Like, I keep waiting for that game and we're just not getting it. And last night was especially disappointing because it wasn't even a little interesting.
The closest we got to what you're saying so far, Jay Frederick in the chat house has it, like it was the Cavs game where Nick's going for 30. The young players are playing well, and it's just they weren't able to close that one out. But I think that's the game kind of you're talking about. But again, yeah, they ended up losing it and still not able to have that discussion yet.
Let's get to the phone line. 916-909. I got some fun stuff coming up on the phone line, by the way. 916-909-1320. 916-909-1320. Our guy Mitch is locked in from New Jersey.
Mitch,
what do you got on the Kings losing streak?
Good morning, Kyle. It's Jesse.
What's up,
Joe?
Hey, Mitch, can I want to pause you real quick. You sound phenomenal today.
Yeah, great signal.
This is just outstanding. What's going on?
I'm trying to just do one thing at a time, which the other times I could be walking, driving. The gym's a joke. Bad Wi-Fi. Anyway, I already gave you the Rosie Perez line. Losing to win. I already gave you that. So that's good. I want to see the young guys. Everybody thinks Utah is bad, but how did Utah get 6 first-round picks the last 2 years? So they must have done something right now. I wish we could have gotten more first-round picks for this coming draft, but we couldn't get rid of our big guys. And one more thing, if Utah or Dallas, if they get the top pick, there should be an investigation. It's just too much. That's too much of a coincidence, too much being good, that luck. Can't be that much of an Irish luck there. But hopefully we get the top 3. It's going to be a good draft. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks, Mitch. Yeah, man. If the Jazz get the number 1 pick,
I don't think you need to investigate the Jazz.
I think you'd need to investigate the NBA.
Yeah.
Because it would kind of be, to me, somewhat, putting on my tinfoil hat, the Jazz finally made a trade to acquire a player instead of holding on to Lauri Markkanen.
No. We can't do that every time.
The NBA went, hey, can you do something? And if you do something, we'll give you. I just got my antennas up.
No.
My antennas up.
Put your antennas
My antennas
down.
right on top. My antennas right here on top of my tinfoil hat.
Okay. Yeah,
what?
Nothing. Just go. It's fine. No, we're not.
Why'd you grab your flag?
Because I'm just getting ready. Yeah. By the way, I got the flags today. I got the flag. So yeah, we're done on this welcome syllabus week nonsense for the jump.
Preseason's over.
No, yeah, get ready for a pop quiz today. But
I miss syllabus week, dude.
oh yeah.
Oh my god. Good 10:30 class. Thing starts 10:35. You're out of there 10:36.
Just show up, me, my clothes, and my shoes. No backpack or nothing. Because we're not doing anything that day.
And you knew a class was gonna suck when the professor passed out a syllabus, and they're like, "All right, open your books." Like, God, don't like that. Like, now give me your syllabus. Tell me that you're gonna take attendance or you're not.
Yeah,
and
let's
let me
ease
get out
into
of
the
here.
week. Let's chill, and then next week we'll be all serious. We'll do all the school stuff.
Come on, man. Have I ever told you about my econ professor?
Never.
All right, so I took this econ class, and he was very much a, here's the syllabus, any questions, see you on Thursday kind of guy.
Shout out.
Yeah, dude, salute, right? A lot of flop sweat. Not a good professor, not a good teacher.
You said flop sweat?
Yeah, like forehead sweat.
I got
like
you.
his hair would stick to his forehead.
Gotcha, okay.
Wow. He was a sweaty guy. And a lot of nervous laughter, right?
Okay, all right.
And this guy, so he passed out the syllabus and get out of here guy. The first test comes. First of all, it's a class of like 50 people. It was me and 8 other people who were there every day. And I needed to be there every day because it was very shortly after I got out of high school. It was the start of my second year, and I did horrible. I'm a guy who got good grades in high school. I had a 2.189 GPA after my first year of college because I didn't go to class. I didn't do the reading. I didn't know how to learn. I didn't know how to study.
It's a bit of a culture shock when you got all that freedom.
Bro.
I wish someone told me that.
Like, I could just not show up to class.
Exactly.
Great. See you at finals.
And then you realize not all the C's are equal.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I finally showed up to class. It's me and like 12 other people who show up every day. First test comes. I'm looking at this test and I'm like, oh no. I thought I studied for this. So we get the test back, and I see that my score is bad. I see that he gives me like a 94%. And so academic honesty. I go up to the guy and I go, "Hey man, I'm looking and I see that I got like a 64% on this test. Why did I get a 94% on this test?"
Are you insane?
Yes.
We've been going over this
100%
for the whole week.
I'm not a like a right.
Go ahead and finish your story. Yeah.
So what he does is he goes, "Yeah." That's how we would laugh. Like that. He goes, "Yeah." He then proceeds to explain that nobody did well on the multiple choice. So what he did is he took everybody's totals, kept their total, and then sliced the total points in half. So if you got 25 out of 50, in his measurement, you got 25 out of 25 now. And then the question on the very last page of the test, he said that almost nobody did it. And so he decided that nobody knew there was a question back there. So if you even attempted it, you got all the points for that question, even if you got it wrong. And that was how he calculated the answers and the numbers on this test.
Good for him.
So this is this type of professor, right? So fast forward. This woman is in substituting for us one day. She was a rock star, dude. Just phenomenal. Like, she is teaching, I'm learning, I'm getting it. Like, let's go. Supply, demand, got it. Like, we're in. And me, idiot, at one point during the lecture, raises my hand and I go, "I got to tell you, I have learned more in this 45 minutes than I have this entire semester."
I've heard this story now.
Yeah. And she goes, "Oh, really?" She goes, "I'll have to let so-and-so know he's my husband."
Buddy, what was your problem back then? Academic honesty. The talking to the teacher's wife about how he was learning.
I feel like that's a thing you would identify when you're like, "Yeah, I'm the substitute teacher, but also it's my husband." So like, "Oh, it's my bad." That's why I don't say anything to anybody ever.
Yeah,
I just mind my business.
Yeah, I learned that lesson in the 8th grade, not college.
Well, I needed it, I still passed the class. I went up to him. It was one of those classes that, shout out to the professors on syllabus week that give you a syllabus and tell you to get out of there. And then on finals week are like, "Yeah, if you have a good grade, don't worry about the final."
Yeah.
Like, salute. Thank you. So I have like a 92.4 or something. I have an A-. And so I go up to him and I said, "Hey, professor, I have an A-. Somehow I got 64% in the class and wound up with an A-. And I go, "What do I need on the final to get me to an A? Like, what do I need?" And he looks at me and he goes, "You were here every day. Don't worry about it."
There's a lot of
I
that
got
in
an
college.
A. Hell yeah.
You know who you were?
I guess his wife didn't tell him that I told him.
You ever seen the commercial where the guy is playing basketball and he's like, "No, guys, I touched it. I'm going to go tell the ref." Like, that's you.
Come on, Marcus.
Yeah, no, that's you. Like, no, I touched it. I was out of bounds.
Because no.
Yes, it is. Yes,
that's
it
not
is.
competitive. Because this is not a competitive thing. This is not a competitive thing.
No,
if it was competing, and he said, "Hey,
competing to pass this class.
You got the highest grade in the class, and because of that, you don't have to come to the class anymore. But everyone else does." And I knew I didn't actually get the highest grade. I'm like, "Damn, all right, thanks. I'm out of there."
Oh yeah. You're the coach. I touched it. I was out. That's
not at all.
Yes.
No.
It's fine, dude.
No,
some of us are that guy. Some of us aren't.
I wouldn't do that. Wouldn't do that at all.
Yeah, okay.
Not a real game. Like, man, hey, we got away with one there. All right. You're just a hater. I'm Kyle. That's Jesse, the hater. That's Joe Brazil, who hates my hat. We're the Jump. We'll talk more about the Kings because I need Doug Christie to stop doing a thing that Doug Christie always does. And we'll talk about it next on the Jump. It's ESPN 1320, Sacramento Sports Center.
going on, Chatty House?
Oh shoot! Hey, Joe, donuts are here. I'll get them. We're a break. I got them. Oh, they're already out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it with you guys. I'm not sure what the ad thing is, but I'll ask. I'm not sure if it's us or YouTube. I'm not gonna sit here and act like Doug has done a great job or anything like that, but I'm also not gonna sit here and act like anyone else would have done much better. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, Pray for Mojo? Good morning.
Shout out to Matt.
Matt's a top tier guy here.
Matt's a good guy. Na 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 na.
Matt's low key a funny guy too.
Oh,
dude, he's really funny. I don't think I ever told you guys what he was doing to mess with me when I was setting up that photo booth. He found my old Facebook and set all the wallpapers on all my computers to like a picture of me when I was in 3rd grade. And then he printed one out. It was funny.
Yeah, but I wouldn't throw the Kings in there for me. Kings are more annoying just because we gotta watch them and it sucks for you guys. Chris, I'm gonna say they make playoffs past the wild card. They're supposed to have one of the best rotations in baseball. We'll see what the hitting looks like.
Welcome back to The Jump with Kyle Madsen and Jesse Tapia.
916-909-1320, 916-909-1320 is the phone line. If you want to get a hold of us, please do. We've got our guy Mike on line 1. We'll get to Mike momentarily because he wants to talk draft and trades.
Shut up, Mike. Jump regular.
And if you want to talk draft and trades, you can hang out with us because I think that's the thing everybody's looking forward to the most. Just fast forward to the lottery, please.
That's all it is.
May 10th.
That's all we're looking forward to.
Get me to May 10th. I'm looking forward to the day the Kings win.
I think we're
not
about
losing
due.
out.
And it's funny because I was thinking about this last night about how upset you were with the Pelicans win. Then you kind of changed your mind a little bit. And then we had this game last night. And I was thinking, oh no, he has a right to be upset at this game last night.
It was ugly.
It was really ugly.
I mean,
get me to the lottery.
The Jazz are trotting out Jaren Jackson Jr., Larry Markkinen, Ace Bailey, and some other guys, and you're trotting out Devin Carter, Nick Clifford. Guys are still trying to figure out what they are in the NBA.
Yeah, man. It was not great last night, but eventually they're going to win one. I don't think they're going to lose out. Do we still feel like the over on 15.5 wins feels good?
I'm going to stick with it. I don't want to do wishy-washy. I'm going to stick with it.
With the over? Okay.
Yeah. It's a little tough, though. The last 2 games have not really helped.
Yeah. I'm worried that all of this losing is just like it's just going to manifest and rot. And not only do they not have a ton of talent, but they're going to go into every game believing and knowing that they don't have a ton of talent And this is not going to be like a resilient, oh, we need to rally, because that's what I was expecting against Utah. They got smoked against New Orleans. I was expecting some kind of rally, like, all right, still on the road. We got the All-Star break coming up. We're a bunch of young players. Let's knuckle up. Let's show some fight.
Yeah.
And they did the opposite. And so that's my concern, that this is going to become just a self-fulfilling prophecy. They're going to go into every game not like, all right, tonight's the night we end the losing streak. They're going to go into every game thinking, hey, we're not winning tonight. And that's where you start talking 20-plus game losing streak.
Wishful thinking, but maybe the All-Star break's coming at the right time when they kind of get to reset a little bit and just, I don't know, maybe they do get to come back. I'm not going to say and win some ball games, but they do look a little cohesive and do play some Doug Christie basketball. We'll see. Like I said, it's a little bit of wishful thinking, just given we have a large enough sample size where that might not be the case. But
yeah, we're 56 games in.
Yeah.
I don't think it's happening. Our guy Mike is already looking ahead to the draft and what trades they might make. So, Mike, the floor is yours at 916-909-1320. What's going on?
What's up, Mike?
All right, man. Yeah, I'm ready to press the fast forward button as well. So,
hell yeah.
So there's a couple teams, and this is like, obviously we're talking theory and like, hey, just have some fun with it. Spurs and OKC. OKC in particular has a pretty decent shot to jump, right? So my question is kind of to you, do you think we would do it? And do you think there's a shot someone else would do it? So let's say magic happens, we get the 1 pick, someone like OKC jumps to 2. What do we have to give up? And do we feel like having a Darren Peterson and an AJ pop the same year, is that worth something like next year's pick where it's obviously going to be high again? So a team like OKC could say, I mean, both of these teams are like just so rich with assets as far as like players on the court. They're already trying to, I mean, you know, the Spurs can just drop Sohan, right? Like, so do they go, well, I can take next year's Kings, which we know is going to be high. They're going to be playing a bunch of youth. So it's still going to be pretty high pick. So they kind of swap. Yeah, they give up the 2, but maybe they get a, you know, top 6 pick still. But then are we going to have to give up, you know, like the mini unprotected and another King? So like, would you do 3 first, these unprotected, to get the 1 and 2 in this year's draft?
Thanks for the call, Mike.
Shout out Mike thinking outside the box.
Love the thought.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
OKC would want the world.
Yeah.
And I'm not ready to bank on DeBonsa and Peterson both being awesome and being able to play together and both be awesome together. Because we've talked about this. You need that, not necessarily those draft picks to make the picks, but if you hit on the number 1, if it's Darren Peterson or AJ DeBonsa or whoever, and you hit and that player is a perennial All-NBA guy, you need those picks to make trades to get supporting talent in.
Yeah, and like, yeah, they won't trade for the 2 or anything like that, but let's just mess with Mike's call for a little bit and say something about trading into the first round as it is. Do the Kings need to trade back into the first and maybe come away this draft with a couple of guys? Because, I mean, coming out of that game yesterday, it's like, yeah, you're going to need 4 starters minus Keegan. And then you're probably, like, I'm not sure which one of these young players is really a core player here right now. Like, you're going to need a lot going forward. So, like, do you have to try and trade into the first? Or are you cool with a top 5 pick and you still stick with Sabonis playing the 5 and then just trying to see more from Devin Carter and those guys? Not necessarily saying give up, but, like, there are a lot of spots to fill here.
I don't think you have to. But I do think, like, this is where I do trust Scott Perry a lot. When you look at you trade into the back of the first round, and you know, we've talked about development and what are we getting out of the young players and what are we not.
Mm-hmm.
I think Nick Clifford, Dylan Cardwell, and Max Reno are NBA players on some level.
Yeah. Whether
they're starters or rotation guys, I have no idea. But I think I have some idea. But regardless, they found 3 NBA players in the back of the first round, the second round, and then in undrafted free agency. So if there's a player that Scott Perry really likes in the back of the first round, and you can get there with a couple of second round picks, cool.
Yeah,
like do that. Absolutely. I would be very down for that. But I wouldn't say Because to me, when you say you have to, like you have to hit on your first pick. Whether it's 1, 3, 5, I don't care. That has to be a really, really awesome player.
Yeah, because if not, we're all just going to be set back again.
Right. We're gonna have this exact same conversation in February of next year. So that's what you have to do. I'm not gonna come away if they don't trade back into the first round. I'm not, and I'm sure there are going to be players available at 23, 24, 25 that on the internet we're all going to be like, wow, this guy's available. You got to go get him. I don't think you have to do that. It's not going to be like, wow, they got Darren Peterson, but man, they didn't get such and such player at 27. Nah, I'm not going that far. But if they did, I don't hate the idea.
Yeah.
Like I certainly like if they did, again, anything Scott Perry does in the draft right now is going to get a thumbs up from me because his track record's been strong there.
Yeah. I only asked the question. Just like I said, the only players I really feel good about going forward, and we'll talk about this guy probably a little bit later, is Keegan Murray. Like I said, I feel good about Precious being the backup big on this team going forward. And like you said, Neek and Dylan feel like solid, like they could be NBA players and things like that. I want to see more from Max, but I mean, you could throw him into that group as well. But I'm not sure if that's like core or anything like that.
Yeah, core to me is like your top 3 guys.
Yeah, like right now, that's just Keegan, I guess.
Sure.
Why did you say it like that, Kyle?
I think it's interesting that whenever we talk about the Kings' future and we say this is just what it is, like they don't have any, but Keegan just gets left out of the conversation.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because he's hurt. Maybe it's because he's been hurt most of the year and he's just been kind of left on the back burner. But I do think it says something about where he kind of stands in the Sacramento Kings thought process, Sacramento Kings fan thought process, I should say, not necessarily in the Kings building. But the fact that we look and go, wow, there's just, they got some rotation, but there's nothing here. Like, there's Keegan. I don't think he's bad. I'm on the record saying I James Ham and I disagree on Keegan's ceiling. I don't think he's like a number 2 option.
He's not.
I don't think he's ever going to get there. I'm not even sure he's a good shooter, but that's a separate conversation. I think I know the Kings love Keegan and think playing him at the 3 is going to unlock him as a player, and maybe it does. That would be great. Like that would be a massive thing for them if Keegan is a number 2 option. That would be enormous. I don't think it's happening. But in terms of like where does he fit here? Is he a core guy? Like maybe.
Yeah, because I texted you yesterday coming after the loss. It's kind of like, all right, we're gonna be here for a while. This team is not ready to win at any point soon, and it's kind of like, why are you not exploring, I guess, the idea of trading Keegan?
I think you have to.
If we're doing this tank thing and building up assets, are you going to be good enough in time where it's like, okay, yeah, we can maximize what Keegan brings to the table rather than we have this really good young player who was just kind of just wasting away while we're just not winning ball games and still trying to build this thing up?
I think it's because I think you have to at least take calls and find out. I think one of the pitfalls right now when you're this bad is any team calling about a trade is not going to give you fair market value for Keegan. They're trying to get him at a discount.
Yeah.
They're trying to say, hey, we'll give you this bad first round pick for Keegan. Can you give him away? Like, don't do that. But I think you have to at least explore it and see if some teams like, yeah, we'll give you 3 first round picks and a player for him. Just in case.
And it's less about who Keegan Murray is a player and more about where this rebuild is going.
Yeah.
Like if we're at year 4 and it's like, yeah, they still haven't really won anything yet. And it's like how did you maximize Keegan at that point?
So this is where I go against and I say you're not ready to trade him yet because I think you need something. When you're developing young players, this is where I think teams like Washington have gone astray, where you don't have anything. You're just throwing young players at the problem, and there's not a development chance there in terms of, again, developing within a system that they're actually going to play within. That's where I think Keegan becomes super important because whether it's Keegan Murray or a player, that player archetype, that player is going to fit very specifically into a role within whatever Doug Christie and Scott Perry are building.
Mhm.
And so I think you have to keep a veteran version of that player around just to see what Darren Peterson looks like next to him or AJ DeBonsa looks like next to him.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't trade him either right now. I think, it's worth seeing what he looks like next to AJ or Darren Peterson or whoever you draft for that matter. Because like Keegan, like I said, it's not about the Keegan, the player. It's more about the Kings rebuild and how long this is going to take. And is it worth having Keegan here doing his thing or you can maximize his value?
It's about accumulating assets. We've talked about that time and time again.
Yeah.
Can you accumulate assets? That's why they didn't want to trade Domantas Sabonis, because they weren't accumulating enough assets. And there were bad contracts involved as a whole thing. But I think Keegan is the one player on this roster that you could trade and get legitimate value for, where you're not taking on bad contracts to get him. You're not taking a couple of second-round picks. Like, I think there would be teams that would be willing to give that up. But also, I don't think they'd be willing to do that right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a version of this where next year the Kings are bad again. Maybe not this bad. Keegan's playing a lot and is awesome. And some team knocks on the door and goes, yo, here's 3 first-round picks and this good young player because we think Keegan is going to get us over the hump to be a championship contender. We want to push our chips in for that guy. I think that's available if Keegan's playing and playing well.
Yeah.
Because you're right. He's 25 right now. He turns 26 before next season. If we're talking about this team, like, oh, yeah, maybe in 2029, you had 29-year-old Keegan Murray running out there.
Whereas maybe you were better suited just getting some first-round picks and just helping your build that way.
Yeah, but again, talking out of both sides of my mouth here, I also understand the value of having a veteran like that in the roster.
Yeah, as we always talk out of both sides of our mouth.
Yeah.
This is asking the question, like I said. Right now, I'd still like him on the Kings and that, but I'm just more so asking the question, if this is what the build is, why aren't we thinking about that more?
I'm more open to the conversation now than I was this summer. Because this summer, it's like, yeah, you're gonna sign Keegan and he's gonna be part of what you're doing. Well, part of what you're doing now is tearing everything down. But I also think if you start going, I'm not inside the building. This is not reporting. We're going to ask James Ham about this at 8:30. James Ham, our Kings Insider, is going to join us in about 45 minutes. But I think inside the building, again, I don't know. I think they view Keegan as he is a foundational piece. And if that's the case, then obviously you're not moving him.
He's literally he needs to find that 3-point shot again.
That's it.
He can play defense and all that. He just needs to find the 3-point shot.
36%.
At least 35, 36. Just there. Because if you could do that, I think we're past like you said, we're past the Keegan Murray being the second best player on the team or anything like that. But if you can be 35, 36 from 3, play good defense, average about 15, 16 a game, then we're all golden.
Yeah. I just need to see that.
Yeah.
I want to get to the Doug Christie stuff from last night. Because there's a thing I need Doug Christie to stop doing. I desperately need Doug to stop referencing his playing days. Everybody understands what Doug Christie was as a player. He was awesome. And what he meant to that team. And because of that, what he means to the city. We're all there. We're all on that page. It's what I believe makes Doug Christie, like, that is his best. That is one of the best things he has going for him. Is that understanding of what, like, the urgency.
He's got a connection to the city. He knows what they're looking for.
Yes, and he understands the urgency for, like, this is what Kings fans love. This is what we need to be successful. This is why we need to be successful. I think all that is so vital, and there are not that many people out there that understand it better than Doug. We got it. But after last night, this is shout out to the SI Kings site, the Sports Illustrated Kings site, which is who did the transcribing of these quotes.
Shout out Wilsey.
It wasn't Wilsey who wrote it, but that's where Wilsey
Kings, yes.
Right, yes. Quote, the pain that I feel, particularly from getting so close to something, not being able to attain it for the city of Sacramento, has pushed me for a long time. It continues to. I won't stop coaching them. I won't stop being positive with them and showing them. You look at other teams who have struggled and now all of a sudden they're sitting in really good positions. It happens. but you have to go through hard times. If it were easy, everyone would be 44-12 instead of 12-44. Want to real quick pause. Not everybody is 12-44. That's a one team issue. But second, I don't like the first part of that of like, I know I failed in Sacramento and that's what drives me. Like, man, that's not help. Like, that doesn't, to me, if I'm where I sit again, I don't know how players respond. That's not, I don't know. I'm not in the locker room. But if I'm hearing my coach, it's like, yo, I don't care what happened to you.
Yeah,
20
you don't want to
years
hear
ago.
about 2002 all the time.
Yes. Like, I don't like that's great. I get it. Okay. I've watched the YouTube videos. I remember the 2000, the 2002, 2003, 2004. Like, I remember all that. Like, yeah, okay. That was tough. Those Kings teams were really good. Yeah. They got robbed. But like, yo, that can be your opening statement to a team.
Yeah.
Like, yo, this is why this matters to me. All right, let's move forward. But then he said elsewhere in the conference, quote, I've been here for the absolute best of the Sacramento Kings, the best record, and now we deal with this. And there's more to that quote, but I want to pause there. Like, all right, yeah, no, we got it. We get it. This adherence to 2002, 2003 has to go away. That can't be the thing that we're constantly falling back on. Because it's not, like, it doesn't matter, man. It matters to Doug personally. Again, I think that matters when you hire him. I think that's a great talking point. But we're 56 games in. And this is not like what all of that stuff isn't working. Like, that's not, that messaging's not working. I think it falls on deaf ears now because, okay, great. You were part of these awesome Sacramento Kings teams and he was vital to that and we got it. But yo, that doesn't help me today. That doesn't help Nate Clifford today. That doesn't help Dylan Cardwell. I need this to stop coming up because it feels like a crutch. It feels like Mike Singletary, okay? Mike Singletary, the former head coach of the 49ers. I knew it was over with Mike Singletary when Mike Singletary continued to go, well, we got to look at the tape and see what we're like. All right, man, no, we got it. You're going to look at the tape. What else do you got? And I understand what the city goes through. I've been here for the best times and I know how badly the city wants to win. Awesome, dude. That good, but we got that.
What would you, I guess, want him to say?
Everything,
because
nothing else he's saying is bad. I just need the like hearkening back to 25 years ago to stop.
I wonder if he's pulling from that just because this team is probably in the worst spot they've ever been since they've gotten to Sacramento. Like this, like I've seen multiple times. This is the worst season in Sacramento history and things like that. Maybe he's just doing the thing where it's like fans aren't really tapped in or anything like that. And he's just like, no, I know what it was like. And I don't even necessarily disagree with you because I have a team that always goes back to their 72 undefeated team and I hate it too. But
the Dolphins.
Yes, the Dolphins. Yeah. I hate going back to 72. I think it's pointless. I think you should stop acknowledging it just because it holds you back. Sure. But again, I wonder if the Kings are just in a spot where it's just so rock bottom where it's like, what else can he say? Like, unless it's just pure negativity, like, yeah, we got our ass kicked again. This team isn't trying to win or anything like that. But yeah, we just wipe the floor with us rather than, you know what? Yeah, take the positive approach and be like, I've seen it. I know what it looks like. I know what it takes. I know it's been bad for so long, but I've seen it. And it's just more so like taking the positive approach.
This is where I think you can do that. Because when he says
the last two games have been tough, I'm not sure, like, other than like, yeah, we suck right now. What else you could say?
When he says, I won't stop coaching them, I won't stop being positive at them and showing them, you look at other teams who have struggled and now all of a sudden they're sitting in really good positions. It happens. You have to go through hard times, blah, blah, blah. If it was easy, everybody would be above 500. Like, yeah, no, for sure. He can say, I want to get us back to the playoffs because it makes, people in Sacramento proud. And we just keep working daily to make those strides to get to that point. There are many games in this that we could have and should have won, and we didn't. It happens in streaks going both ways. The one thing that I know is that adversity does not define you, but it clarifies some things about you as an individual and us as a collective. Like, that's all great. Like I said, I'm not expecting Doug to flip the table.
Yeah, I know.
You can be positive. Like, I don't care. Like, the positive messaging I think is probably good. And I think that hits in a better way right now than like, well, we're just gonna keep rotations and we'll try and keep doing this and doing that. Like, no, he's being I think about as real as you can be. I would just like the harkening back to like, well,
It's time
when
to
I
move
played,
on, is
like,
what you're
man,
saying.
it is time to move on. Like, we get that is the experience you're drawing from, but I want to focus on now, because I don't think I don't think it matters. What happened in 2002 doesn't matter. It might matter to Doug personally, and like I said, that works up front. But we're 56 games into his 1.5 years of coaching.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. It doesn't matter, but also it's just like it's. I'm not sure what else you could say that would matter or anything like that. This
All
team,
the other stuff, I think all the other stuff is fine.
yeah, I mean, point being, like, this team has had a problem always going back to the glory days and things like that. They've never really left, and they've always brought the guys back, and that's always been a conversation. But I think it's just Doug trying to connect with the fans. I think that's just kind of what it's chalked down to. Just trying to connect with the fans. And yeah, you're right. It doesn't really matter. We don't really need to hear about 2002 or anything like that. But I think he's just trying to connect with a team that's in desperation mode right now. And I think Doug's a little bit desperate right now too.
That's the other thing that kind of sucks about this is I feel like this year, well, and really the last 2.5 years have impacted I'm interested how people actually think about this. 916-909-1320, 916-909-1320. I feel like things got so bad so quickly that it made the 22-23 season less fun.
Well, there's no connections to those players. I mean, I can't remember I think it was Ryan who called in yesterday, but I'm like, yeah, I root against De'Aaron Fox in the playoffs.
Right,
and like De'Aaron Fox brought you probably the happiest season you had in a couple of decades, like 16 years or whatever it was. And it's just like, it blew up so fast and got so nasty where like no one was like, Domas is still here, but who's really truly connected? Like, oh yeah, Domas, like I love him, blah, blah, blah. Like you lost all the connection from that team with how it ended up.
Joe, I'm interested in your thoughts on this. Joe, our resident youth Kings fan. He's not actually a youth.
He's like 23.
He's like 25.
I'm 25.
25.
Yeah, I'm 25.
Shout out, Joe.
But I asked Joe because Joe wasn't like, you were very, very small for the glory days of the Kings.
Yeah.
You don't, that's not like
I don't remember it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you view the 22-23 season differently?
Now because of what's happened?
Yeah, based on where we're at now?
Absolutely. And I think that's a really good point because, and I kind of do understand where our caller yesterday was coming from. It all just kind of sucks, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's really any positives, especially now. Now that we're here now, there is no positive takeaways because, like you said, there's no ties really to that team at all anymore. And it kind of just feels like that season was
like a fever dream.
Yeah, I don't want to say fluke, but that's really what it's starting to feel like. And just seeing the way, and I also kind of wanted to hit a little bit on when you were saying Doug Christie's talking to these guys about his glory days and whatnot, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of to your point, a lot of those guys don't remember that either.
Right.
And if he's talking about Sacramento and the people of Sacramento and making the city proud, well, a lot of these guys also feel like they're not going to be here very long, I'm sure. So what does that really matter to them too much if they're not bought in on the city, on the team? They're like, I don't know where I'm going next season.
Sure.
So yeah,
that's a good point.
That's my 2 pieces on that. But it's definitely, this looking back on that season is my view on it has changed immensely.
That's the other part of this. It sucks.
Yeah, that last part Joe talking about was like, yeah, guys might not even be here and no connection. It's like, it kind of ties into the fact too. It's like, how can we ask for Doug Christie to establish something with something just point. So volatile? Absolutely. I guess. Like, how can you expect him to establish a culture and an identity with guys who might not even be here? Like your guy's not even here.
Even a guy like
the guys you're starting now, like might not even be like your bench players.
Sure.
So it's like, I see in the chatty house, like people talking about Doug hasn't done the best job, and I don't even necessarily disagree, but it's just, how could you expect different? Yeah. Like, how could you expect different?
I think that's fair. All right. That's Jesse. I'm Kyle. Joe is behind the glass. I started my sushi journey last night.
Nice. I saw pictures.
I would like to discuss that with you guys, but also a really, really tough scene for the NBA. And we'll tell you what it is next on ESPN 1320 Sacramento Sports Leader. That made it sound like my sushi journey was a tough scene for the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
It was a really good point by Joe. Shout out to Joe. Ugh.
I will say though, like I do still hold that time very dearly because like you mentioned, or like I mentioned, I don't remember from 02. And I was literally just the other day I think I was talking to the promotions team just about how special it was seeing Doko transform.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's genuinely one of my favorite memories of all time when I turned the corner on game 1 and it was a sea of purple. My hair was purple. Like it was just so much fun, dude. So it's just such a bummer. It sucks. I thought at the time that we had more of this in store for sure. I thought that this was the beginning of something special. It really felt that way, especially after game 1. After game 1, I was like, this is, this might be something.
Yeah.
So it's a bummer.
Mm. We only got we got 2 minutes. Never mind. I thought we had 1 minute. Can you explain this, please? Oof.
Yeah. I mean,
no way.
I did go. I made it to all the games. I only went into the arena for the first game, but I was there for all of them. And I see what you're saying. I mean, it was kind of like the elephant in the room, I guess. It was like, well, I wanted to believe it was going to continue happening, but yeah, you had to be. I definitely made sure to enjoy all of it as much as I possibly could in the moment. So that's a good point. I did post Kings in 6 on my story after that first game.
That's fair.
I did, no shame.
I think they have. I think the Kings and Doug have fully embraced the tank. But also, Doug can't say that publicly. You can go like, yeah, it's actually good that we're losing. This is great.
Has to just exist in Utah is hilarious.
Welcome back to The Jump with Kyle Madsen and Jesse Tapia.
I'm Kyle. He's Jesse. Joe is over there. Well, the Kings were getting blasted by the Utah Jazz last night. Jaren Jackson Jr. out for the season, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that. Shout out to the chat house.
Just waited 1 game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yo, that went too well. Jaren, you're done. You're done. Did he get hurt last night, or are they just deciding to shut him down? The NBA is just the NBA letting all of this happen is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
you can just have a star player hurt, and when that star player is ready to come back, if they've been out so long that you're bad now, you can just sit that star player for the rest of the season.
Can you imagine yesterday's game being a wake up call for the Jazz? You just blew out the Kings.
I think that's what happened.
No, yeah, like that's what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, no, this can't happen. We're clearly a level above. We need to bring it down a notch.
Do you think there was anybody in the building last night for Utah that was like angry at how that game went?
Danny Ainge, if he was there.
Danny Ainge, like just sitting
no
courtside,
yeah.
big mad.
Yes, he's pissed off.
What a weird thing.
I think his son works there now too.
What a weird thing. I do wonder how. I'd love to ask Scott Perry this.
Scott, come on the show if you're not busy.
Scott, hit us up 916-909-1320.
The phone line.
Yeah.
916-909-1320. I do wonder how he views this. Like, does he watch last night? Like, I wonder if like for a lot of people that we see in the chat at youtube.com/ESPN1320. For a lot of people, we've seen that sentiment of like, on next year, like get me to the lottery, and this is about losses, getting a top pick, and that's what this season is. But I wonder for Scott Perry how he views these games. Like, is he as like, yeah, whatever, like none of these guys are gonna be around, or is he like, hey, Neek got 15 shots up last night. Love to see that. Love to 8 boards, 6 assists for Neek. That's what I would love to know. Or is he angry that they're losing by 30 or whatever it was to the Jazz?
I'd hope to think that he kind of knows what it is, and he's kind of not. He's not happy.
28.
You're not happy with losing ever, but more so like this is part of the plan. This is going according to plan. I hope he's not caught off guard, because I mean, like going into the season, I don't think anyone expected this team to be great or anything like that, but no one expected them to be the worst team in the league either.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I'd be a little disappointed if Scott and them thought this could be a play-in team, because then it's like, all right, where are your expectations at? But if it's kind of like, no, he expected it to be ugly and it's just more so going according to plan, then I think he's fine about it. Fine in the way where it's like, yeah, like we're on our way to a top 5 pick in the draft.
Yeah.
And kind of acknowledging, like he said as much, like patience, 2027, like it's going to take some time.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what it is, I'm sure.
I will say with Neek specifically, we were talking about him earlier because he's 5 for his last 31 with 16 points, and he's run a -43 in his last 2 games. Yes. I will say, if you're looking for silver linings, which we love a silver lining on this show.
It's how we get through every day.
His last 3 games, 4 rebounds, 5 rebounds, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 assists, 6 assists.
That's what I'm talking about. Like
he has 2 steals in 3 of his last 4 games.
Yeah, he does other things well. It's just maybe he's not a guy you want taking 16 shots on your team. It's the circumstance they're in right now, but that's why it didn't concern me. It doesn't concern me, I guess.
All right. Yeah, I don't think, like I said, I'm not taking a 2-game sample size and making sweeping declarations about Neek. It might also just be a regression to the mean a little bit, because it was 12 of 19 against Cleveland. Maybe that's what it is, and then we'll see an ascension back to the mean after the All-Star break. Rookies get to rest their legs. They played a ton of basketball. I think we'll get a better Neek coming out. That's what I think.
Yeah. Not going to be busy for the Rising Stars guy.
Nobody is.
Not a shot, but yeah, no one's going to be there.
It's All-Star weekend this weekend, by the way.
You didn't know.
FYI, just a heads up. I've never seen, this is the fumble that the NBA did. I don't even want to say fumble, because there wasn't, like, they never recovered it. And Adam Silver, God bless him, he's trying so hard to fix All-Star weekend. I just don't think there's any fixing it. I will say, I've never seen an idea fail in sports like this before it even started, though.
Are you talking about the World versus USA?
Yes. I've never
what are
seen
the new teams that we're doing?
I don't know. But like Karl Anthony Towns is going to play for the World now, and he's doing that. And I know that he's like, he can. They're not making something up.
Yeah, I think he's got Dominican ties.
Yes, I believe that's right. Like, they're not making this up. I'm not trying to, that's not my point here. But they just decided that like after the fact, so they could have an even amount of players on each side. Like, that's what we're doing here.
I don't know. Like, they're trying.
I know they're definitely trying.
They're trying. They're failing miserably.
That's it. I'm not blaming the NBA for trying something. Like, salute. It's one of the things I like about Adam Silver is that he is so willing to look at his sport and go, hey, this isn't going well. Let's change that. That's why I think they're going to do something about tanking, because this year, like, it's been blatant, but this year is there a bigger talking point? Is there a bigger story in the regular season right now?
No.
Than the tank job? Is there going to be one? I don't think there is.
Go ahead, Joe.
I have a question real quick. Is this the worst you've seen it? Like, in a season?
Maybe.
Throughout the whole league?
maybe.
Because
Yeah, I don't
this
know.
is crazy, dude.
I'm sure there's been other seasons and I've just not paid as close of attention as
I
I
remember
do now because
Fair
of
enough.
I'm old
the
enough
Kings
for
are
the
in mix.
process Sixers. I don't know
Okay.
if the rest
Yeah,
of the league
but that
was,
was
they won like 10 games or something like that.
Yeah, but that was one team. There's half a dozen teams that are
Yeah.
like very openly, actively trying to lose.
Yeah, no, I don't know if it's the worst, but
It feels the most prevalent this year. Like it feels like it's a storyline. If we had the Thunder chasing 75 wins, I think that's different because on a nightly basis, it's like, oh man, the Thunder won again, but we don't have that. Jason Tatum may or may not come back. That'll be a big deal if and when that happens. Like that'll be a story. But like Golden State, who's been one of the premier franchises in the league, stinks. Or they're even worse. They're super mid. The Spurs are good, but
no,
I think people are waiting for the playoffs to get excited about the Spurs.
Well, this is the thing. Like tanking is going to be the story until we probably get to the playoffs. But for the time being, it's like I'm not sure what's going to overtake it right now. It feels like every day we're seeing someone talk about it.
I think if Jason Tatum comes back and the Celtics win like 10 in a row,
That'd be pretty awesome.
I think that would be I think that would be enough. But I think tanking is going to be the story the rest of the regular season. That's why I think this is going to be the year that Adam Silver and the NBA sit down and change the rules.
That's why too, because I feel like we're all kind of headed towards that end where it's like, yeah, maybe Adam Silver's finally going to do something. So it's going to be a conversation until he finally does it.
I wonder if teams are kind of aware of that, and then this was like going into the season. This was the notion they were like, "This might,
it's our last chance.
this might be our last real.
This is the
shot."
last tank,
Yeah.
guys. Nah, I think it's Darren Peterson, AJ DeBonsta, but I mean, it's about 7 teams going for it.
Daniel Gonzalez said the actual story is if Wemby is ready to take over the league already. That's been a story for like 3 years. We talk about this all the time. The Wemby thing is not a regular season storyline because people will not decide on where Wemby is until he has success in the playoffs. But God forbid, Victor Wembanyama averages 27, 14, 3, and 6 for a season, 6 blocks.
Yeah, he's 24, 11, and 3 right now.
With how many blocks?
4.
4?
Let me scroll 3, 2.7. We round up on this show.
But if exactly.
He's averaged
You
around
round
4
up
his first 2 years.
at 0.5. We
Yes,
follow math
exactly,
rules.
Exactly.
So, but he goes into the playoffs. The Spurs are a first round exit, and he averages 15, 8, and 2 with a block. So be like, wow, is Wemby really good?
Yeah.
So that's what I think everybody knows that Wemby's awesome in the regular season, and the novelty of him is worn off. He did 6 things last night against Golden State that made me that I think if any other player does it, you're like, man, what in the world? But with Wemby, it's just like, oh, okay.
Now
yeah,
we're
he
waiting
did
for
that
Wemby
again.
to create his stories.
That's it.
Now we're waiting for him to get to the
That's it.
playoffs and, they swept this team in the first round and he went for 30 a game and, they beat the Thunder. They upset the Thunder. Like, now we're waiting for him to create his stories.
That's it.
We know who Wemby is and we know the novelty, I guess, of just what he does. But like I said, it's just now it's time for him.
Yeah.
Not that it's worn
Yeah.
off, but yeah, you can only talk about how crazy it is so much.
I just don't think there's going to be a magic fix for All-Star Weekend. We've had this conversation. I started.
No, the All-Star games are gone. They're gone. Forget about them.
I started doing radio shows in 2009 at Sac State. Salute to KSSU, Sac State Student Run Radio. And I started in 2009, and this was a conversation then about the All-Star game. What we've run into is player health is a bigger concern than ever. Deep playoff runs are a more essential thing than ever for player success, or what is deemed player success. And players don't want to play extra games. They don't want to play any additional high leverage, high intensity minutes. It's just that's not how the sport works anymore. What the NBA All-Star Weekend needs is a mindset change. And until we get that, it's not gonna change anything. People go, oh, well, I thought Anthony Edwards could change All-Star Weekend. I bet money on Anthony Edwards and his team to win the skills competition. And then I see Anthony Edwards go, I'm going to do the whole thing left-handed. Great. That's how one of the most the competitive guys in the league is doing I'm going to do this all left-handed. All right, man. I don't think if somebody
what Kevin Durant said?
No.
He said, well, it's Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic laying around, throwing the ball up in the air. Talking about people not trying hard and things like that.
Well,
It just honestly, you know what they need to do is go back to East versus West, and if it's bad, so be it. If it's good, so be it. But the gimmicks and all that have not worked, and
nope.
just go back to the original and hope that these guys have some
That's
pride.
it.
And if they don't, then your All-Star game just is gone. That's what it is.
That's exact. That's
Like we see what the
100%.
Pro Bowl is now.
Yep.
That's a joke. It's fine.
Yep.
The Pro Bowl used to be great.
Yep.
The Pro Bowl used to be fun. Now it's not. It's just time to accept it.
Yep.
And if it's not going to work with the NBA, accept it now because the fixes, it's just not happening. Just go back to the original thing. And if it works, great. If it doesn't,
That's it.
better.
That's it. Our guy Will in the chat said the NBA is in a bad place. I don't think the NBA is in a bad place. I think the NBA has some warts it needs to figure out. I don't think the league's in a bad spot. And honestly, I trust Adam Silver to come up with something to fix the tanking thing. Or at least to try to fix the tanking thing. Whether it's changing the odds again, maybe. Whether it's doing a thing where, like, at a certain date, wins count as losses, and vice versa.
Uh-huh.
I think maybe it's something like that. But or not wins count as losses, but like losses count as.
Is there any incentive to tanking if you just have it the
forget how
three
that
worst records have equal odds?
That's what it is.
Or, well, I mean more so like where you just it's the top 3 teams that get to play lottery. The rest are just fixed, I guess. I'm just throwing things out like 4 through 15 is fixed just based like the NFL way, I guess. Or do you think?
No, because then teams are going to try and lose more to get into the 3.
Yeah, I guess.
Like it's hard. It's not an easy problem to solve, and I know that people like every solution.
Yeah.
You can poke a hole in. Like there's always going to be something, but I think the NBA is going to work really hard to curtail this. And like I said, maybe I'm extra sensitive to it this year because of my job in the Kings.
I just don't know how you do. We see the NFL; they've got the fixed draft system. It's like there's tanking there.
The other problem is, and I've seen this, is people say, make it a tournament. If you win the tournament, you get the top pick. But like, yo, that's not incentivizing players.
No,
if I'm a Kings player who may or may not be here next year, why do I give a rip if they get Darren Peterson or not?
Exactly.
Tanking at this point is just a thing in sports. It's just part of it. The NHL, there's teams that tank.
Do teams tank in the NFL?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yes. I'm old enough to remember when the Miami Dolphins traded away Laramie Tunsil and everyone on that roster for picks, which worked out decently, I guess, because they got a bunch. But yeah, teams tank. Like the Bengals that year were tanking for Joe Burrow.
Was that a midseason trade?
Before the season. They hired Brian Flores and they just traded away everything. I think the Bengals were tanking that year for Joe Burrow. Like, yeah, teams tank.
Okay. I guess you just don't notice it as much in the NFL.
Or maybe, yeah, I think teams tank. I think maybe it's that where you just don't notice it. But yeah, teams tank.
But the NBA is definitely in the league with the worst issue.
The NBA, like I said, Will Hardy will go to your press conference after the game and be like, yeah, we didn't plan.
Yeah, dude, that's insane.
Because forget you, that's why.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, John in the chat house. The Raiders sat Max Crosby the last 2 weeks of the season.
No, Max Crosby had knee surgery. It was very important that he have that surgery, guys.
Yes, that's why he left the facility so angry.
He wants to be traded.
And posted basket highlights of him shooting in his gym.
Did you see? I got a kick out of Ian Rappaport this morning, saying that Max Crosby didn't add to the trade rumors today by sidestepping the question about trade rumors. Here's what he said. So there's a rumor out there that Max Crosby wants to leave the Raiders, in part because they made him sit the last 2 games, which Raider fan told me was the right decision, and the Raiders are awesome, and Max Crosby's awesome, and everything's amazing because they wanted Max Crosby to sit those games, and now it might lead to Max Crosby leaving. But anyways, he got asked about it, and here's what he said, quote, "People are going to have rumors. I just looked at my phone. This is via Pro Football Talk. I just looked at my phone. I've been working all morning. Everyone's hitting me up. Did you say this? I can't control that. You earn that as a player. If I wasn't doing the right things and if I wasn't the person and player I was, people wouldn't be talking about all of this nonsense. But that's what comes with it. If you have drama, if you have a losing season, they just try to throw gasoline on the fire and make things a certain way. I know what I'm about. I know what I represent. I really don't care what everybody has to say." Do you know what he didn't say in there?
I want to be a Raider.
Yeah, I didn't say that. What? Who said? That's ridiculous. If I actually wanted to be on the team, I don't want to be anywhere. I'm saying this, Kyle. I don't want to be anywhere else than ESPN 1320.
Yeah, just do.
I love this place. I love you guys. I love this place. If there was an article in some sports media thing that was like, Kyle said that he wants to go to radio station X, I would get on air the next day and be like, I don't know where the hell this came from. This is ridiculous.
Well, yeah, because then can you imagine Kyle Madsen going on there? Yeah, you guys know what I'm about.
Yeah, Pete, there's going to be rumors. God, I was working. I didn't even know. I mean, people ask me if I said this, and it's like, God, like, people know what I'm about.
Do you want to be here or not?
Like, yeah, man, just say it. And then, what else did he say? He didn't directly address the details of the report, but did say he knows, quote, my truth, and doesn't feel he needs to, quote, keep rehashing it.
Maybe.
Like, man, just like, nope, I'm a Raider. Looking forward to signing an extension.
Yeah, it's just kind of the game you have to play.
He also said, quote, winning is, quote, all that matters ultimately, but I want to be in a place where I'm mentally 100% myself.
I feel like that quote kind of helps the Raiders.
Does it?
Yes, because it's like kind of like if he's in a spot in Las Vegas where he's comfortable and he feels like he can just, like you said, be in that spot mentally where he's 100% himself and things like that. Like, yeah, he did I want to win, and that's kind of where the Raiders fit in there, I feel.
Is he gaslighting us right now?
How so?
Is he like, well, I don't know what you guys are talking about?
Oh, no, I don't think that's it right here. But
no, I think he's sidestepping the question.
Yeah.
Because he's definitely made it clear that he doesn't like the direction the Raiders are going.
Yeah, but I think we're just going off of that last comment, that last quote you read. Like, I think that's, if we're going to pick and choose, that's kind of a benefit to the Raiders, I think. Because if he's comfortable in Las Vegas, then like that's kind of what that means, though.
Winning is all that matters ultimately, but I want to be in a place where mentally I'm 100% myself. Meaning, like, to me, I don't want to just go anywhere.
Yeah.
I need to go somewhere where I'm mentally 100% myself. Because if he had said, all that matters is winning ultimately, but I want to do that in Vegas. Great.
No, I got you. I don't even necessarily disagree.
It feels like a lot of obfuscating. Am I using that right?
I don't know. Do you always use these big words and you tell me what they mean
I can't
after?
help you with that one.
Well, I mean, like, you don't have to.
Obscure, unclear, or unintelligible. Hell
Yes,
yeah, he's
congrats.
obfuscating.
Spell it now.
Nice. OBF.
Oh, you got it in front of you. Doesn't count. We'll do it tomorrow. But like,
That's
if you're the Raiders, you don't have to trade him either.
No.
It's ultimately up to you.
Yeah.
So, like, he can say what he wants, and believe it or not, there will be a point if he stays with the Raiders and Clint Kubiak's doing his thing. They got Fernando Mendoza, and just things are starting to look up. Like, Max Crosby will be happy again. Like, it'll be all good and things like that. We see these things play out with teams and players all the time.
Yeah, Myles Garrett.
Right now, it's just a staring contest.
Yeah, I hope he gets paid.
Yeah.
Shout out to Max Crosby. Really good player. Raiders should not trade him, by the way. If you're trying to build a foundation, keep him. That's a player who should be on your team. Yeah.
What if you can get 2 first-round picks for him? That's kind of what we're talking about now.
Maybe.
Jay Glazer said he can net a return higher than Michael Parsons.
Yeah, it's not a surprise.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if that's out there, like, do you turn that down?
Depends.
Doesn't have to be Kenny Clark, but 2 first-round picks and let's say a 5th or a 4th.
If the best I can get is the 49ers 27th pick, no. Nah, pass. We'll stick with Max.
Fair, but I don't think he's like completely tied to them right now.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
If the right deal comes in, yes. But anyways, I tried sushi last night.
How was it? I forgot to tell you two going into it, like the California roll does not count.
No, I didn't have a California roll.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I saw the pictures, dude. You got some good stuff.
So we ordered, shout out to Tatsu in Walnut Creek, just dynamite sushi spot. We got a hamachi roll, a hamachi jalapeno roll. That was avocado, hamachi, and a little jalapeno on top. Good, fine. My issue with that one was it was just a lot of jalapeno. It's just a raw jalapeno on top. So it's a little bit, not just a nice little kick. I enjoyed that. My wife had a salmon roll, a salmon avocado roll. I'm not a big salmon guy, but I ate a piece of that. Didn't hate it.
Nice.
I didn't hate it. It was fine. Then we ordered a mixed nigiri. That's the fish on top of the rice.
Yep.
on that one, hang on. Let me go through. I memorized what all the fish were. I had a waiter come over and explain them to me. Stand by.
Did you explain this whole thing to him? Like, yeah, I'm not really into sushi.
Yeah,
Blah, blah,
I was
blah.
like, I'm starting a sushi journey here. Okay, so
It all
on
looks
the
like
end,
good cuts of fish. For
we
sure.
have the unagi. That's the barbecue eel. Delightful.
Oh,
Very good.
cool.
Liked it quite a bit. Definitely a small bit fishy, but not so much that I'm out on it.
Okay.
I loved the sauce that was on top. And that's big time for me because I'm going to Japan. If you missed this yesterday, I'm going to Japan, and eel is like a big thing they do there. So I'm really excited for that, and I enjoyed the unagi quite a bit. Next up was mackerel, smoked mackerel.
How was that?
Not my favorite.
Is it like holy mackerel or what is that? What is mackerel?
It's fish, man.
I've never heard of it.
It's just fish. It's
I'd
like a fish.
probably skip mackerel.
Yeah,
next.
so it was fine. I wouldn't if I'm at a dinner in Japan and they serve me mackerel, like I'll eat it. But it wasn't like repulsive, but it's definitely very fishy.
I've never tried that before.
If you like fish, you'd probably like it. But it was fine. There was skin on it. That's not my favorite thing. I didn't eat that. But it's fine. I took a little flake of it. It was fine. Next up was the hamachi, just the raw plain hamachi. Fine, enjoyed it fine. Albacore
Yes,
goes.
sir. There we go.
Love
You're
a
starting
slice
to
of
get it,
albacore.
dude.
Big albacore guy, it turns out. Then there was some red snapper. Okay, texture little strange, but didn't hate it. Not bad. Again, if it got served to me, I would go for it. Didn't have the salmon belly. Something called a butterfish,
Yeah.
How was
Yep.
that?
Bro.
Sounds fire.
bro.
Not very fishy, right?
Not fishy at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, really good. The actual fish is called a what did he call it? Doesn't matter. Anyways, butterfish, delightful. Then there was just a regular bluefin tuna. Not my favorite. Didn't like it that much. Very, very meaty. But pause.
Yeah,
But
no,
come
that's
on,
a flag. It's a
come
flag.
on.
So close.
That's a flag.
Come
Yeah, no, it's a
on.
flag.
Are the hands inside the...
No, thanks for breaking the ice there. That's a flag. That's a holding penalty.
I enjoyed the texture of the bluefin, but the taste was not there. Didn't love the taste. And then there was a piece of salmon that my wife ate.
Shout out.
Yeah, man. So going again next week with the group of friends. I know what I'm going to order this time. I might try a different roll. But yeah, man, we're cooking. Look at me go.
Yeah, Kyle's
Dude, let's
finally
go.
growing up. Look
Let's
at him,
go.
Joe.
Yeah, look
Yeah.
at me, man.
Albacore's a great choice for sure. Hamachi is also really good.
Yeah, strong.
I think I was looking at that last night. I was like, dude, that is a great lineup.
Yeah, man.
Great start.
Yeah.
You didn't go
Shout out
for
to Tatsu.
yeah. I would have been a little disappointed if you got the golden California roll. The deep fried California roll.
Yeah, I looked at that, and there's definitely some of those that sound really good, but I feel like when I go to Japan, I'm not going to be in a Japanese sushi spot and be like, "Can you deep fry this?"
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
That's not going to be a thing.
that's
so
definitely
I need
Americanized for
to,
sure.
I need to grow up.
California rolls like sushi on training wheels too.
What is in it? Is that French
just-
fries? And
No,
like
it's just
avocado?
imitation crab,
I love that.
avocado, and the
Yeah.
rice roll.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty much it. It's just
That feels like a
imitation
shot at
crab.
California to me.
I don't know. Maybe it is. I've never taken any disrespect from it, but
here's this weak ass sushi roll.
it is. It's a weak ass sushi roll,
California
but it's
roll.
like, yeah, you try it for the first time, and then it's like you grow up and try other things.
Next time I go, I'm gonna try a roll with spicy tuna. Our guy
Yes.
Norm reached out
Yes.
and was like, "I'm not an adventurous eater, but spicy tuna is up there, so I'm gonna try that next time."
Do you like tempura shrimp?
Yeah,
Okay. I mean, I'm not crazy about it in my sushi roll.
I'm paying. I don't want to say I'm paying too much money to eat at a Michelin star tempura restaurant in Japan.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm a
Yeah.
big tempura guy.
I think spicy tuna is definitely a good next step.
that's what I'm gonna do next time.
Join us on
On
Kyle's
my
sushi
next
journey.
on my next appointment. You can also follow me on Twitter. I'm documenting the whole thing.
Yeah, we're gonna turn this into content.
I'm trying. Should I do a video?
Dude, yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'll bring my mini mic.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Very good. We'll do that. Shout out to sushi.
Shout out sushi.
I'm not going to go as far as to say I'm a big sushi guy, but I'm trending more toward liking sushi than I ever have in my life.
Yeah, now you can't just listen to just be like second listening to the first album. Oh, yeah, it's my favorite artist. No, you got to be
Yeah,
around for
exactly.
a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
you gotta
doubt,
hang
no
out for a
doubt, no
bit.
doubt.
It's not going to happen overnight.
All right. That's Jesse. I'm Kyle. Joe Brazil's over there. James Ham, our Kings insider, is going to join us next. We're going to ask him about his thoughts on where does Keegan Murray fit into all this.
Hey, what the heck's going
development
on,
of the
man?
young players. And James, why are the Kings bad?
Yeah, what's going on? What's the deal, pal?
We'll talk to James Ham, our Kings insider, next on ESPN 1320 Sacramento Sports Center.
James, the Kings stink. Your thoughts? I tried fried alligator in Florida. That was fire. Tried fried frog legs too.
Iguana, interesting. Going to the Florida Keys and seeing iguanas just out and about was nuts for me.
Yeah,
That was
I've ever
wild.
been out to the Florida Keys.
That was, you just walk around and they're just there.
What's up, Spencer? The Everglades is fire. I love going out there.
This is insane. This is a ridiculous thing to type in the chat.
Oh, chatty house is hilarious.
I'm just naming fish, man.
You can't go wrong with Makuni, obviously, or Tangs.
Okay.
Tangs is really good.
Let me explain this part. I have tried salmon every which way from Tuesday, and I don't like it. So my wife, who was very patient with me last night, was like, I'm eating that when it came to the salmon because she loves salmon. So I just let her have that. I wasn't going to be like, no. I might try it next time.
Yeah, you can try it. The texture might be a little weird with uncooked salmon if you know what to expect, but it's good.
Yeah, salmon belly. When the guy came over and I was asking him, he's like, that's one of the best cuts.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, good to know.
Dude, my buddy, shout out Nick Cordray, he was a sushi chef at Makuni, and we'd go over to Sunfish, which is a fresh fish market where a lot of places around here get their sushi fish from, and he'd throw on his sushi outfit, whatever, and just make us a bunch of rolls. That was the best sushi I've ever had. It was insane.
James Ham in the building.
What up, James?
What's up, friends?
How are you?
Another day in paradise, huh, Ham?
Early, man. That's what this feels like.
Covering the Kings, the good life.
Good morning, James.
What's happening? What's happening,
At least they were on the road yesterday.
Yeah. Oh no, it's great. Yeah. Like recording podcasts after games is not super simple.
I'm sure.
Especially when you're there. When you're there, it's tough.
Right.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Because I don't I prep. I spend a good half hour prepping for every show, and it's just not easy.
All right, 10 seconds. Here we go.
Welcome back to The Jump with Kyle Madsen and Jesse Tapia.
Yeah, Kyle Madsen, Jesse Tapia, Joe Brazil behind the glass, and our Kings insider host of the Locked On Kings podcast, James Ham, in the building.
What's up, friends?
James.
What's up, Ham? How you doing?
Kings lost
Good.
last night.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know what you're talking about. I thought they won.
Yeah, man.
Tough.
Good. Yeah, it was not. Jesse and I have been trying to find silver linings from each game. I just going through and like, okay, what? Because this is about, again, nobody's under the illusion that anything that's happening this year is about this year. It's all about the future. I'm having a really hard time finding something from last night that is like, wow, thumbs up. That was a good thing that happened.
Yeah, I think, I talked to Damien and Kenny yesterday about this. When you're writing, like I do for every game, I write 6 quick thoughts. You're trying to pull out sort of the best of what's happening, right? And sometimes the worst of what's happening. I mean, you have to mention that, the team shot 24% from the field in the first quarter and 34% for the entire game. I mean, this was just an embarrassment of a shooting performance. But I think if there was a silver lining to last night's game, which was their 14th consecutive loss, it was that Devin Carter got a start for the first time. And, while I don't think he ran the offense, and I think that part of the reason why the team struggled so badly to score easy buckets and to get easy buckets was because they had no one running the offense, whatever the offense is, but still like getting into sets and actually going through the motions and trying to get good looks for your teammates. He's just not a point guard, and that's okay. But I did think, him having a career high 19 points, him actually, having 5 rebounds, 4 assists, whatever it was, he was a silver lining. And, it wasn't like a horrible game for him. It wasn't just some unbelievable game, but at the end of the day, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for like these little moments that people have in a season like this.
You talking about Devin Carter not being a point guard, and then we see Nate take about 16 shots. You think this development is good for the Kings in the sense where it's like, are they in the right roles, or does it feel like they're just getting NBA minutes and that's their development right now?
Yeah, I think it's different than NBA minutes, Jesse. I think for me, if they were just playing 30 minutes, that's fine. But that's really not, again, if you were to put Nick Clifford out there with 4 other starters, the regular everyday starters, then Nick Clifford's the 5th option. Like he's not getting any actual burn. He's just doing cardio. And I think what we're seeing right now is that, like, look, Nick Clifford has to step up. You can't, if you look at his last 3 games, he had 30 points, he had 10 points, he had 6 points. That feels like the last 3 seasons of Kings basketball, going from 46 wins to 40 to 12.
Right.
It's like, hey, man, you need to, like, this whole cardiogram thing that you're doing, it has to level out. And that's part of learning the pro game. It's part of showing up every night and understanding that, 0 for 6, 1 for 15, whatever it was. Like, you've got to be better. You've got to hit your shots. And when your shots aren't falling, you got to get to the free throw line. You've got to do something different that actually impacts the game. And so I think there is a lot of growth here. There is a lot of room for growth, but also it's more than just minutes at this point. It's opportunity to be a second or third option for some of these guys that may never get that opportunity ever again. And you need them to seize on that and to like grab the reins here and go, okay, look, even if it's for 5 games, I'm getting an opportunity to shoot 16 times or 15 times, and I've got to continue to get better as a player. So I do think that it's not just opportunity, it's not just cardio for some of them. It's about actually having more responsibility, and that's a good thing. That's how you grow.
Talking with James Hammer, Kings Insider, host of the Locked On Kings podcast. Jesse asked a really good question last night, and I'm interested to get your thoughts on where you land on this, because I think you and I have differing thoughts or differing opinions on Keegan Murray and his ceiling as a player.
Of course.
Where do you think he kind of fits into whatever the future of this team is, knowing that it might be 3, 4, 5 years before they're playing in competitive basketball games again?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the toughest thing, right? Like if you're Keegan Murray, like everybody else is like, we talk about it all the time, sort of like in a different tone. It's like, well, you got another year, Zach LaVine. Well, you only got 1 more year to be here, Zach. That's a different tone, right? It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I have to be here for another year. Or, hey man, 1 more year and you're out. Again, you look at half the roster; they're either on expiring contracts or minimum deals. Maybe Domas is looking around and saying, man, do I really have to do this for 2 more years? Or Malik is saying, I want to be here in Sacramento, but do I really want to play for this team for 2 years? But when you're Keegan Murray and you're looking that, your extension doesn't kick in until next year and you're stuck here for 5 at 140, it's like, hey, the money's fine. That's great. Being independently wealthy and having generational wealth for you and your family. And, he's a smart kid. He's going to be able to turn that money into more money. But also the reality that this is, you're going to be the centerpiece of a complete rebuild. That's one way to look at it. Like, you're stuck. The other way to look at it is that when I expect that when he comes back after the All-Star break, that it's his show. And you're going to hand the keys to him and say, hey, look, man, you got 26 games here. Go out there and show us what we think you can be and what you think you can be, so we have a much better idea of what we're going into this summer and what we're going into the year after that. And I want to see him have like the Cam Johnson moment where it's like, hey, here's 19.4 points per game. I can do it. Go out there and do it. And, we've got to stop thinking about Keegan in some sort of, view that something he can be. He actually has to be what it is that he's going to be. And I think getting a 26 game run where you're the primary or you're the number 2, that's great. That's what this needs to be about. And let the other guys fall into place behind him. Again, if we're going to go through this, let Keegan shoot 16 to 20 times a game. Let Neat Clifford shoot 12 to 16 times a game. Let some of these Max Reynaud get 12 shots every single game. Let these guys prove that they can do this, and not just prove to the league, but prove to themselves that they can actually be that player at this level. And maybe you get something positive out of this.
Keegan's got his deal coming up, so he's probably part of this group. But is there anyone that the Kings feel like tied to, where it's like, yes, this player's part of our core, or are they just like in evaluation mode with everything on the roster right now? Like, do they view Neek as like a potential starting 3 at one point, or like, do they have like set roles that they're seeing for these guys, or just, like I said, is all just evaluation mode right now?
No, I definitely think that they look at Max and Dylan as, future rotational players. And they look at Neat Clifford the same way. Scott Perry had conversations with him directly, and he believes that they found 3 rotational players in this year's draft. This year's draft process, because Dylan Cardwell, of course, didn't go in the draft. But when you look at the group, those 3, and then you throw in Keegan Murray, all of a sudden now you're up to 4. Now, where do we go from here? And how do you fill in pieces around those players? How do you get the better player that makes it all fit together? There's a lot to this, which is why again, being the worst team in the NBA this season isn't a bad idea. This is a great draft, and that's how this team is going to get better. They're going to get better through the draft, and then again, you have this moment here where you can look at this group and say, okay, what do they need, and how do we attack that this offseason and next offseason? It might be that 1 or 2 of these guys that you have around that as of right now don't look like they're going to be long-term pieces for this team, but they become long-term pieces because, again, maybe you look out in the draft, you get the 1st or 2nd pick, and maybe there's a player on your roster that doesn't look right with the group you have right now, but he looks right with that player and looks right with that player alongside of a player like Keegan Murray. And so you're always trying to adjust your thinking about, what's next and how you build this thing. But it's a process, and Scott Perry took on a job that I don't think many other general managers would have. It's ugly. This is a tear down and rebuild for an owner that doesn't believe in tear downs and rebuilds. So it's got to be a retool or a rebuild at the same time, and it's just very, very fine line to walk.
You said that the worst record in the league might not be the worst thing for the Kings, just given, hey, you might land a top pick and things like that. What does that mean for Doug Christie, though?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah, does that hurt him in any way?
I think the key here in the last 26 games is, how does Doug manage the young players? Because at this point, it's become sort of like, hey, look, I don't know what's going on with the tendon in Zach LaVine's pinky. Whatever. I don't expect him to play. I don't expect him to play very much. I also expect a lot of these veterans that, maybe have voiced their displeasure or don't want to be there to not be there. Like, hey, go ahead and take a month, and we're going to get through this without you because you're not part of what the plan is. I think we need to see what Doug does with these young players. And up until the last 2 games, I honestly thought the team was playing much better and a better brand of basketball. And actually, you can see the offense and some of the defensive ideas with the young players playing a lot more. for whatever reason, these veterans just like they're freelancing and not playing team basketball. And it's been like an epic struggle the entire year to get them to play together and be good teammates for each other and support each other the right way. But when the young guys come in, they're doing that. It's just they don't have the talent. And, as of right now, the talent, the experience, which is part of the talent level, they just need more experience. And I think eventually, this group will get a few wins and you'll see a little bit better basketball. But I didn't hate watching the game on Friday against the Clippers or Saturday against the Cavs.
Sure.
Hated the last two games. It just wasn't fun to watch at all, where a team comes out there and realistically looks like they're not ready to play. And that's going to happen sometimes when you're only playing young players. And Doug McDermott, DeMar DeRozan, Doug McDermott. So it's tough.
It feels like, as we talk with our Kings insider, James Ham, host of the Locked On Kings podcast, you can find that wherever you get your podcast and also on YouTube. It feels like, though, we're reaching the point where at 14 consecutive losses, and the game against the Clippers, the game against the Cavs, like that was really fun. Like that's the ideal version of what we call tanking, right? It's you play well, you get some good performances from Nate Clifford and Max Reno and Dylan Cardwell, like 2 thumbs up. You lose only by a couple of close games. But I think the reality of losing 14 in a row is you reach a point where it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy a little bit.
Yeah.
Where you don't go into a game going, hey, we got to snap our losing streak. You go into a game going, hey, we can't snap our losing streak. That would be the worry for me, like long term. If we always talked about this with like Washington, like that stench of losing just kind of lingers. That would be, I think, my greatest concern, like long term, coming out of this year.
Yeah, it's what Scott Perry called institutionalizing losing. Like making it part of the fabric of your organization. And that's always a dangerous idea. Look, when you're going out there and your starting lineup is Devin Carter and Nate Clifford and Precious Achiuwa and Max Reno and DeMar DeRozan, like that's not going to win at the NBA level. Not today. Like 2 years from now, with that, someone other than DeMar DeRozan, maybe you've grown enough and you're good enough that you can withstand that. But that's just not easy to go out there and play. So I do think that you're trying to avoid, you're right, like the stench of losing and all that. But you're also going out there with a spirit that, like, look, we're young, we're learning. And I think we've seen that more than anything with the young players. Like there is a good spirit about them. And hey, I'll keep saying this because, again, I think I've been tough on DeMar DeRozan and just his brand of basketball. Like he's been such a pro, man. The guy has shown up every single night and he wants to play, and he has played in every single game this season. And when you're seeing this list come out of, the injury report that's 6 or 7 guys, and he's not on it. It just continues to show you that he's a pro and then he's going to be part of what's happening. And the other thing, he's playing to the young players. You can see it. He's trying to make them better. He's trying to help. And then sometimes it's like, hey, I've got to score, so we're not going to get boat raced here again. And so I like what he's doing. But overall, this is it's a horrible mess to watch.
You don't ever expect to be the worst team in the league, but is there any aspect of like this being the year one for Scott Perry, where it's kind of like, all right, yeah, this is kind of part of the plan. Like you kind of expected it to be a little bit rough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone thought it would be this rough.
Sure.
They signed Dennis Schroeder, sort of chasing that one last bump. They were trying to do the death by mid-level thing. And, again, they got out from underneath the contract. It cost him Keon Ellis. But it's something that teams do, when it's just usually you're looking at like a 6-year playoff run. And then the 7th and 8th years, they're not good enough. But they keep adding players thinking that might be the piece that gets you back into the game. And this just happened way quicker, like than anyone expected. So I definitely think where we're at right now, it's, like climbing out of this whole trying to get better. It's difficult, but also that Like no one expected this to be this horrible coming in. And, Scott Perry, would love to have flipped the entire roster on its head at the trade deadline. But sometimes your players aren't good enough. They don't have enough value around the league to do that. And so they're just stuck in sort of this perpetual cycle here of trying to get better, but only being able to focus on young players to accomplish that.
James Ham, our Kings Insider, last thing here for you. I was wondering last night if there was a person maybe for Utah in their front office or whatever who was just pissed at how the game was going, which led us down a road of how do you think Scott Perry, when he's watching games and he's watching the Kings lose 13, 14 in a row, losing to the 14-win Pelicans, losing to the 16-win Jazz, however many, a bad Jazz team that's also trying to lose games. Do you think he's watching like, hey, this is great? Or is there a level of frustration that builds up there for him too? Again, not expecting you to get in the guy's head, but just your feel for it.
Yeah, I mean, he talked about it last week about how, he wants Doug Christie to win as many games as he can down the stretch. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But I also, there's a reality to this. And as a general manager, you just can't go out there and say, man, Doug's doing a great job losing every single game. You do worry about that. And you have conversations with your team, with Doug Christie, with his coaching staff, but also with the team as a whole, and there was a conversation that was had here where Scott Perry did pull the entire team into a room and they had a conversation about what's next. Mm-hmm. And that's not an easy conversation. And some players, throw their hands up, and it's like, for anyone who throws their hands up and says, oh, I can't believe this is happening. How could we get to this point where, I'm getting benched? It's like, well, because you were on the court and they're 12-44. So you got your opportunity, and to be honest, you weren't good enough and the team wasn't good enough. And so this is what happens when you perform that way. And so there is sort of a cause and effect here. At the same time, H.A. Devonso was in the building last night. He was sitting courtside with his dad. That's what you're playing for. If you needed a reminder, he showed up and said, hey, look, you remember me? This is why you're doing
Jersey.
This. Yeah, this is why you're being bad right now. You're being bad, so you might have an opportunity to find a superstar that helps you turn your entire franchise around. And it doesn't feel good. It's, again, they've tied the all-time franchise record with 14 straight losses, and it dates back to 59-60 and 71-72 when they were the Cincinnati Royals. But at some point, this team will win a game or two and everything will feel a little bit better, but it shouldn't feel better. They have a 212 win percentage. 212. They're on pace to win 17 and a half games. This is by far the worst team I've ever covered. And the only other team I could come up with that was even remotely close was the 2007-8 Kings that won 8-9, that won 17 games. That they went into the All-Star break at 11-43. So yeah, this is an epically bad team. And, I don't know that that's a bad thing, to be honest with you.
He's James Ham. You can hear him with D'Lo and KC Mondays and Wednesdays. You can hear him every single day at the Locked On Kings podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the Sacramento one, not the Los Angeles Kings.
Yeah.
Unless you really want to get into a hockey podcast. But James Ham does a great job covering the Kings. He's our Kings insider. James, thanks so much for dropping in, man.
See you guys.
Appreciate you, Ham.
See you. James Ham, there he goes. The best in the game, covering the Kings when they're making the playoffs and when they're the worst team in the league.
Yeah, kind of the best of both worlds. Shout out Ham.
Yeah,
he's there every day.
Yeah, and he'll be on. So he's on with D'Lo and Casey every Monday and Wednesday at 2:30. He'll be on with us throughout the rest of the regular season, certainly, and into the off season. It's just going to depend on what's going on when we. So I don't want to say a day.
Yeah,
because it may not be Thursday. It might be Tuesday. It might
James
be Friday.
Will pull up. He'll pull up.
He'll be around. Like I said, one of the best covering the Sacramento Kings.
Is there any silver linings that we could take away today, Kyle?
From this show?
Well, not the show. Just, we've been doing the whole King silver linings all week. You want to do one more?
I was really excited.
The develop the young guys kind of blew up in our faces yesterday.
Yeah, it's tough. That's a tough one for sure. I think at this point, here's one, and we can dive further into this tomorrow. But I saw somebody in the chat say that they need to get a top 2 pick because they don't trust management to pick the right guy if they don't get one of Peterson or DeBonsa.
Yeah.
And that's where I think I disagree. Again, if I'm going back to Scott Perry in this year's draft and finding Nate Clifford late in the first round, getting Max Reynaud in the second round, identifying Dylan Cardwell as an undrafted free agent, if the Kings wind up picking fourth, I think in that spot, I'm trusting Scott Perry to still find a good player.
Yeah, that's going to be real disappointing, though.
It would be hella disappointing. Like, don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
I'm going to get on the radio.
And we're going to yell.
If we're going to be big mad about it. Like, don't get it twisted. If when on lottery day, they get to 5 and that Kings logo shows, oh, it'd be brutal.
Yeah, I'm not going to speak it into existence.
No, we're speaking
Yes.
Darren Peterson.
Darren Peterson, Sacramento King.
Dude, big time. It's on the board. But if like, let's go to the hypothetical world where that happens, it's going to be super disappointing. Like, don't get it twisted. And that's how it, but I'm going to eventually talk myself into it because we're going to look and go, man, there are 9 good players in this draft.
Yeah.
And in that spot, that is where, again, you may not trust ownership. You may not trust past front offices, but this front office, that's something I trust them to do.
That's fair. You can go that way with the silver lining. Ken Dog 916 says, thank God it's a 2-week break.
Hey,
what did I just see? Says no games for a week.
Nah.
Shout out to the silver lining.
Yeah, shout out to the fans taking a break.
Yeah, man.
We're 1 game closer.
Don't take too much of a break, though. We're going to be here.
Yeah, don't take a break from us. Take a break from the Kings.
On ESPN 1320. Our good friend Rich Eisen, our favorite coworker, is next.
Rich, call me back.
That's Jesse Tapia. I'm Kyle Madsen. Joe Brazil behind the glass. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with us today. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Until then, drink water. Be nice to people. Woo!
All right.
Thanks, Chetty Gang. Appreciate you guys.
Do we have a meeting before our meeting?
Yeah.
Oh.
9:15.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Lock in. You're here all day.
No. We got a day, Chatty House.
All right, y'all. Have a great rest of your day. See you tomorrow.